Hey there, amazing developers! Welcome back to yet another exciting Spring Boot tutorial on our channel. Today, we're diving into something super practical and absolutely essential: loading custom properties from the application.properties file using the @value annotation. Now imagine this: you're building a dynamic application, and instead of hard-coding everything, you want your configuration, like the app name, version, or debug mode, to be flexible and easy to change.
Sounds cool, right?
We'll learn how to load int, string, and boolean values from the application.properties file in Spring Boot. Plus, I'll show you how to set default values when those properties are missing.
Let's get started.
Let's create a new file called Custom Property Demo Controller. We'll define three variables: one integer, one string, and one boolean. Next, let's define a constructor for our Custom Property Demo Controller class. Alright, now let's take it up a notch. We've got our variables ready, but we need Spring Boot to inject values into them from the application.properties file. So here's the magic. We're going to use the @value annotation, which will allow us to dynamically bind these properties from the config file directly into our variables. Add the @value annotation. To inject values using the @value annotation, we need to use the Spring Expression Language, SPL. The format is simple. We use a $sign followed by curly brackets, inside which we place the property name from application.properties. Let's start with the integer value first. As you can see on the screen, we'll begin with the $sign, then open and close curly brackets. Inside the curly brackets, you need to specify the property name. For our example, I'm using custom.property.int. But you can name it whatever you like, as long as it matches the property key in the file. Now, in the same way, let's define the @value annotation for the string and boolean properties.
Let's quickly add.
Now, let's open the application.properties file. Here, we need to define the properties with the same names as the ones we provided inside the curly brackets in our @value annotation. These names should match exactly so that the values can be injected correctly. First, we'll add the integer property. Copy the property name custom.property.int and set the value to 25. Next, let's move on to the string property. The name here is custom.property.string, and the value I'll use is welcome to Ganderpun. Make sure you're following along. Finally, for the boolean property, we'll add the name custom.property.boolean and set it to true. Now that we've defined and injected our properties, it's time to test everything. For testing, we're going to create a simple REST API. This API will return all the properties we injected into our variables. Let's create a REST API. If you're unsure how to create one, don't worry. You can watch my previous videos where I walk through building REST APIs in Spring Boot. Now that our API is created, let's go ahead and start the application. The application is up and running. Now, let's switch to Postman to test our API and verify if the values are being returned correctly. Let's now hit our REST API and see if it returns the properties we injected.
And there you go.
As you can see on my screen, the magic happened. We hit the API, and we got the expected response. Our integer value is 25, the string is welcome to Ganderpun, and the boolean is true, just as we said in the application.properties file. Isn't it awesome to see everything working seamlessly? Now here's where it gets interesting. Right now, we've set the properties as mandatory, meaning, if any property is missing from the application.properties file, the server won't start. You can try on your own. If you face any issues, drop a comment below. But imagine this scenario. You're developing a library used by multiple services, and you've got tons of custom properties. So, every single service that integrates your library would have to add all of these properties to their own configuration files. Sounds like a hassle, right? What if you don't want to force every service to manually add these properties? What if you want some services to use default values while others can customize them based on their needs? Well, don't worry. I'm going to show you how to handle this exact situation, so your services can either go with the default values or tweak them as needed, without any issues. Alright, let's keep things rolling. Now, let's add another variable to our class. Now, just like we injected values for the string and integer types through the constructor earlier, we'll do the same for this new int with default value variable. Now that we have defined the variables, let's talk about how we can inject default values into these properties. Add colon after property name. Exactly. After the colon, you can add any value that you'd like to use as the default. If the corresponding property is missing in the application.properties file or the environment variable, Spring Boot will automatically set that default value for you. As you can see on my screen, I've set the default value 2024 for int with default value. Also return these variable from our REST API. Now, let's restart the application to see the changes in action. The application is up and running. Now, let's switch to Postman and hit our API. As you can see on the screen, the default value we set for int with default value is returned in the response, just as expected. Now, let's go ahead and override this value in the application.properties file. Spring will automatically pick up the new value and override the default one. Try it yourself and see how seamlessly Spring Boot handles this. And guess what? You can do the same with other data types like long, enum, float, and double. Just use the same approach as we did for integer, string, and boolean. The power of Spring Boot lies in how easily it handles different types of properties and how you can manage them using your application.properties. So, to wrap things up, today we've covered how to load different types of properties, integers, strings, booleans, and how to set default values seamlessly in Spring Boot. Plus, we showed you how Spring Boot takes care of injecting these values into your variables, making configuration management a breeze. But that's not all. In the next video, we'll take things up a notch and learn how to inject values into a list. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you don't miss out on our upcoming videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.